Chapter 34. Qi-enhancing pills given by a beauty. People are unfathomable. You're leaving just like that. Aren't you going to give me some resources? Sanshi pursed his lips as he watched them leave. After talking for so long, he didn't even get an identity token. Forget it. Forget it. Rest. Sanshi glanced at the wound. It had already healed on its own. Forget about it. He helped me deal with the ghost aura in my wound. This Sekong yacht is not that bad. Sanshi nodded slightly and shook his head, but I can't be touched by such a small favor. Perhaps he did it because he wants me to work for him. However, I have a lot of lives. It doesn't seem to be a problem to give away a few. To others, it would be foolish to do so, but to me, it's beneficial. It saves me the trouble of thinking of ways to die. As he let his imagination run wild, Sanshi returned to his room and laid down for half an hour. His powerful physique allowed him to easily recover his strength. The spiritual energy in his body was still in a depleted state. It could be seen that the recovery speed was very slow. He might as well die once. He rolled over and was about to draw the lottery when he saw a black shadow at the head of the bed. He was so frightened that his foot tilted and he almost fell. He thought that he had encountered a ghost again, but when he took a closer look, it was actually a human. She was wearing a tight black outfit that accentuated her snow-white skin. Her jade-like face was charming and her red lips were moist. Her beautiful eyes were as bright as the stars. A red string tied up her black hair, revealing her swan-like neck. Her cold temperament exhibited more capability and experience than before. Sanshi was stunned. I almost didn't recognize you after you changed your clothes. Liu Ruxu reached out her slender hand and touched Sanshi's mount. She looked concerned. Does it hurt? It hurts because you asked me. Sanshi grabbed Liu Ruxu's hand and pulled her into his arms. Why are you suddenly looking for me? Can't you bear to part with me for even one night? Liu Ruxu's face was red. She rolled her eyes at Sanshi and said flirtatiously, I just sensed something here and was worried that something would happen to you, so I came to take a look. It's fine. The danger has been temporarily eliminated. Sanshi reached out and held Liu Ruxu's slender waist. Stop fooling around. You're injured, and you're still messing around. Liu Ruxu pouted. She grabbed Sanshi's hand and kissed it. Be good. Rest well for the next 2 days. Fine. Sanshi did not force Liu Ruxu to sleep with him. After experiencing many things in the past 2 days, he no longer had too much interest in the matters between men and women. After all, the enemy was still eyeing them covetously in the dark. I came over because I have something to ask you. The person who helped you defeat the enemy is from the Demon Slayer's division, right? Liu Ruxu said, Yes, from the Demon Slayer's division. This is the first time I've met them. Sanshi nodded. Who is their leader? Liu Ruxu asked. Sanshi glanced sideways. Are you gathering information? I'm just curious, young master. Tell me quickly. Liu Ruxu, an aloof goddess, was actually acting coquettishly to Sanshi, making shivers shoot up his spine. This is a secret, unless you reward me. Sanshi was still very composed. He could not lose his principles when a woman wheedled. How about a bottle of precious pills? Liu Ruxu flipped her hand and took out a small bottle as if she was performing a magic trick. This is a bottle of low-grade Qi-enhancing pills. It's useful for the early stages of the Qi refinement realm. There are a total of 8 pills. They were painstakingly saved by me. Since you just entered the Qi refinement realm, this pill can double your Qi refinement speed. Each pill can last for 7 days. Sanshi took it curiously. What do you mean by precious pills? He had heard of precious artifacts and swords in the system's lottery. These precious pills were probably of the same level. The precious pills are considered treasures or are of the treasure level. In our cultivation world, treasures are something mortals can come into contact with. But to cultivators, they are considered items of the lowest level. Liu Ruxu explained with a smile. The so-called treasured sabers and swords are also similar to this. Because they lack the augmentation of the Dharma, they are not very useful to people above the foundation and establishment realm, hence they are mostly used by poor martial artists. Generally, cultivators use Dharma artifacts. Some of the artifacts are classified as Dharma treasures, whereas above these are the legendary numinous artifacts and numinous treasures that contain spiritual essence. Sanshi asked curiously, what's the difference between Dharma artifacts and Dharma treasures? They are all divided into different smaller categories. However, Dharma treasures are slightly more advanced than Dharma artifacts. Dharma treasures have a complete set of taboo powers that could render the earth asunder. Usually, only golden core cultivators can refine them. Dharma artifacts only have the power of runes. They can only mobilize some of the heaven and earth spirit chi to increase their power. The difference between numinous artifacts and numinous treasures is similar. I'm not sure about the details. After all, it's not something I come into contact with. Alright, Sanshi nodded. He could not help but think of the Khanate pill. This thing was probably far more precious than the chi-enhancing pill. Young master, don't look down on it. Although this medicinal pill is a low-level medicinal pill and is usually used by disciples who have just entered the sect, this bottle is worth 8 spirit stones, which is worth 80,000 taels of silver in the mortal world. Liu Ruxu thought that Sanshi was disdainful and explained bitterly. Ah, so expensive. Sanshi was shocked. 80,000 taels of silver. The entire San family's annual income was only 100,000 taels. This is the difficulty of cultivation. Just obtaining the resources alone is enough to give people a headache. Liu Ruxu sighed, especially for someone like you who doesn't have a sect or faction at the moment. You don't even have a way to get these pills. Then I have to thank Zur properly. Sanshi smiled and kissed Liu Ruxu. He asked casually, I wonder if there are any pills that can help postnatals break through to the Khanate realm. How much are they generally worth? This kind of medicinal pill is basically a magic pill. It's worth about 500 spirit stones and is relatively popular. After all, there are too many postnatal martial artists. Their numbers are more than 10 times the number of us cultivators. Liu Ruxu replied and found that Sanshi's expression was strange. She asked in confusion, What's wrong? You want to nurture a Khanate expert to protect your San family. There's no need to do this. It wastes too much resources. Young master, you can't afford it. You might as well increase your cultivation level. Naturally. No one will dare to provoke your San family then. Yes, I understand. Sanshi nodded and agreed with Liu Ruxu. He was just speechless how generous he was to casually throw away 5 million yuan worth of tills to Big Smart. Liu Ruxu shook Sanshi's arm. Can you tell me who the leader of the Demon Slayers division is now? Sakongya, Wuxia from the Fiend Eradicators also came. Sanshi revealed the information without hesitation. In his opinion, even if he did not say anything, it would only take a few days for the other party to send someone to investigate. The Fiend Eradicators are here too. Liu Ruxu was surprised and suddenly stood up. Zur won't disturb your rest anymore. I'll take my leave first. Wait, why are you so nervous about the Fiend Eradicators? Sanshi was puzzled. The Fiend Eradicators eliminate demons and I am considered a demon in their eyes. How do you expect me not to care? Liu Ruxu regained her coldness. Sanshi knew that the Moon Palace that Liu Ruxu was in belonged to the demonic cultivation path, and knew what it meant for them. However, he still shook his head. No, they are here to catch Haiduzi. Who knows if it's a cover? The Fiend Eradicators are actually specially set up by the Great Jin Empire to deal with cultivators. As long as they want to, they can give you the identity of a demon at any time. Young master, be careful not to be deceived by them. After Zur finished speaking solemnly, she turned around and left through the window. Sanshi frowned. This woman's motives are really strong. I don't know why she came here just to obtain this information. I can't see through her. The human heart was probably the hardest to see through in this world. This woman probably wants to rope me in by giving me pills. Sakongya is also another one. The contrasting factions behind these two will probably fight soon. This is my chance to grasp any opportunities that presents itself. He muttered in his heart and was not deceived by any benefits. This woman was not simple. If not for the system, he would not have dared to play around with her. Fortunately, he couldn't die. When he became stronger, Liu Ruxu would no longer be able to sleep with him or kill him whenever she wanted. However, the appearance of the other party made him feel that the situation was getting more and more strange. Sigh. Only the system won't cheat me now. Let's draw the lottery. He opened the lottery wheel and drew the remaining 9 items. Ding, congratulations on obtaining the 9 Yan Divine Technique. Sanshi, who was originally a little depressed, immediately grinned when he heard this notification. He had finally drawn a powerful martial art cultivation technique.